Yeah. Hi everyone. This is Ishan. Actually, while preparing for AZ-104 as your administrator certificate, I was trying for the video which can give me like exact the exam pattern. I did not find any such videos. So I recently passed the Azure certification on 7th September 2025. So I just thought of sharing whatever experience I had and how many questions I got in my exam. So there were around 49 questions in total. Okay. So out of these, 40 questions were like kind of first set where you were getting like a question and then few options, and there were five further questions which were kind of one question and they like one big scenario, and there were like kind of multiple questions. Like scenario can be like if you want to copy something from on-premise to Azure, and so first question will be like, can do you want to use XYZ command, whether it will work in your scenario, yes or no. Then second question, like, do you want to create a storage for copying, then yes or no. So same kind of thing, you will get five questions for this. So that means 40 questions straight away, like question and then answers, and then five questions with the same question having different option as a solution. Then you need to click yes or no. And then I got four question from like kind of what you call it as um, user story, like a big story, and then you have to click on yes or no options. Okay, so you have to be very careful while diverting your time on these questions. So in total I got 100 minutes. Okay, 100 minutes for these 49 questions. And once you complete these 40 questions and you complete, you have to be careful while doing these five questions. Okay, for these five questions, once you cross the first question and you are on second question, you cannot go back to your first question to change the answer. So you have to be very careful while selecting yes or no for these particular five questions. And once you complete this set of 45 questions, 40 plus 5, and you started your like particular user story or whatever the scenario user based question, once you landed into this particular section, you cannot go back to this set of 45 questions to change the answers. So you have to be very careful. So let's suppose in total you have 100 minutes and you have done around 60 minutes, you have still 40 minutes for your this particular section of last four questions of user story. Then you can go back to your these 45 questions and spend 5 or 10 minutes maybe to change your question answers, or if you want to revisit any question. So you have to be very careful about that, because the moment you entered into this section of four questions of user story, you cannot go back to these 40 five, in fact these 40 questions to change your answer, because you cannot anyhow change the answers for these five questions anyway. So you have to be very careful. So if I share my experience, so when I started the like my exam, so first questions were like kind of huge, like I have to scroll my window to go through the complete question. So in first five questions I almost spent my 20 minutes. So that kind of diverted or I kind of lose my confidence there, like I cannot pass this examination, I already spent 20 minutes. But the moment I entered into my 6 7 8 9 question, the question size kind of decreased, and it was kind of like 7 6 line questions, and I was easily able to answer the questions within 30 40 seconds. So I saved much time in my further 20 25 odd questions. And one learning I would say, don't lose your hope. And if you are thinking you are spending too much time in initial question, just mark those questions to be reviewed, and you can come back again on those questions. So that would be my suggestion. And just make sure you have enough time for the last user story question, because that question size will be too huge. Okay, so what mistake I did, so I almost spent around 75 minutes to be honest on these initial 45 questions. Then I thought like 15 minutes should be enough for my last user story question, and then I gave additional 10 minutes to this section. So when I entered into user story, I was uh, left with only 15 minutes. Okay, and to be honest, when I completed two questions out of these four questions, I was left only with 30 seconds. So I have to select the answers for last two questions within 30 seconds without even been reading those last two questions. So from what I have experienced on that day, so you should have at least 25 to 30 minutes for these last four questions. Okay, so that is what I have experienced on that day. So and I, in the last, I got around 752 marks and I cleared the exam. So that's what I thought of sharing one video and share my experience with that. Hope this will help at least few of you to pass your examination. Thank you.